All right. All right. Welcome back, everyone, to another stream today at night. If you're new here, in the morning, we come in, take a look at NQ and what price does during the overnight session. Just check out the interaction between the Asian session, the London session, and what price can do going into that New York session. And then at night, we come in, we review the trades, see what price actually did. So let's take a look here. If you were with us this morning, we were discussing this hourly time frame. We were also looking at the 4-hour and how price was kind of coming into this fair value gap that was also inside the OTE of this hourly range. So you can see that right over here. 8 a.m. is probably the time that we were streaming or starting to stream, and then going into 9 o'clock. That's when we were also looking at price right here. So a few things to look at on the hourly here. You can see the sweep of that previous hourly high. Price is also above the 50%. We're sweeping this 25 43. That's the wrong liquidity. I have a different liquidity on the 15-minute, but over here price sweeps that liquidity, right? No displacement through that level, and we're also closing below the closing price of that 8 a.m. candle, which gives us that, okay, price is more than likely to reverse. As we get through the 50% of this candle, that outside hour is much more permanent, right? Over here on the 15-minute, as we're going into it, just a little bit of a grind up. And if you were here with us last night, we were talking about, well, typically a grind up is followed just by a huge sell-off. So there's our grind up. There's our huge sell-off into today. And there's that liquidity on the 15 minutes. So 25,402 was that liquidity. We'll go over here on the 5-minute. You can see the Asian session kind of consolidation, London session manipulation through these levels. Tapping this 25,402, rejection out of it, and just a continuation down, right? Price couldn't hold above this high either, so we get that continuation to the downside. Over here on the 1-minute, we had a 1-minute trade on the order block, just a continuation down. Over here at 10:05, you could have taken another retest of this fair value gap, right? That this gives you a silver bullet entry, so we continue to the downside to that previous weekly low right there. Off of that fair value gap rejection, continuation. Finally, price comes into here, sweeps this 25,059.50 liquidity that we've had for a while right there. Sweeps that liquidity, and now we see that reversal to the upside. We form this inverse fair value gap. Price comes back into it, retests it. We get that continuation to the upside. Over here, tapping into that OTE of the previous range that we formed on that downside leg, rejection from there. And just a continuation down. And look at that way they're holding this fair value gap as well over here. Holding. That gives us that continued move. And now prices, we also switched contracts. This wasn't a fucking gap up. I'm tired, people. I'm not using B adjust or anything. So if you look at it realistically, you had a solid retest of this area and a really nice flush to the downside. Now sweeping this 24,938. And then next below is going to be this right there, that liquidity at 24,602. I need to look and see what it looks like. 24. We have a few levels on the downside here too. Yeah, there's yeah, that wick right there. That's the wick that we were looking at. That's the same time frame. Oh yeah, 24. Yeah, this is gonna be, I don't know why. 24,602 is the liquidity that we're looking at anyway. Right, there's that guy 24,602.75. That's the one that we're gonna be targeting now as the next potential area for price to reach 24,602. 24,602 can be a nasty fucking continuation. If price cannot hold any of these on the hourly, this will flip the quarter back to the downside, and we need to keep above this. All right, so if the quarterly flips, we're kind of fucked. Let me go on the 3-month chart here. 3-month chart. Yeah, so flip of the quarter will be absolutely foul. If they close this quarter bearish, that is going to be a fucking doozy here for us. Which, I mean, it's gonna lead into probably a good fucking sell-off down into these 2179s, but I feel like we're due for a retrace, right? There's your monthly is looking pretty iffy here. Previous monthly low at 23,904. 23,904 previous monthly low. 23,904. 23,904 previous monthly low. We swept all of these, so we can get rid of these. 23,904. Still some below that we could be waiting for. All in all, there's good liquidity on the downside. I'll wait for that 12-hour level, right? All of these levels right here, that 23, 24, 602 is going to be important. So something to look for going into either tomorrow's session or any other sessions. Keep your eyes on that. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. If you guys have at any point got any questions, let me know in the comments below. Let me know in chat. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you want to see. Mr. Haste is out today. He's down with it. He's got something bad. Let me move everything back into my Monday journal here. Yoink, yoink. I can move these back into Monday journal, and this is that chart that we look at on the daily time frame, and I'll post a little trade about it in a few of how we utilize it, or I'll post an outline of it. So 24,938 has been swept. 24,938 has been swept. 493, yeah, that's been swept. So next level, 24,602 if price wants to continue down that road. In terms of crypto, nothing looks that good, right? Last night we had Gun, which was really good, but right now, nothing really that's, I mean, Gun is still going. We got our targets though, so fucked off on that one. Dago. GLM could be decent bottoming formation here in the OTE of this range. We'd need to see through that 786 back to the upside. Pippin obviously fucking ran like a psycho. So you're just gonna hold in that CIST, AVI. Yeah, nothing too interesting. I mean, 1 inch tapping into the OT of this range right there, so that doesn't look too bad. But something BTC, let me see. Bitcoin continuing to the downside. Bitcoin continuing that fucking run. Just as we outlined, BTC, let me see. BTC, solid fucking continuation short. We outlined this not too long ago, saying that failing to displace CISD, so continuation to the downside. Let's take a look at some stonks, the ones that we at least outlined. Biggest ones are going to be AMT, solid tap back into this range and above that CISD. So going into this weekly, so far we got an open low. See if we get a high close somewhere within this area. COP seeing a little bit of a retrace. Costco today obviously made a newer low, so Costco gonna keep on the watch going into the end of this month. Want to see back above that liquidity for us to continue to the upside. Lockheed went fucking phenomenally today. Lockheed cranked it to the upside, so if you're watching it above that previous monthly sweep, it's going to be interesting. Let's see. Dude, that thing fucking cranked this 5, 30. Yeah, OT1 could BT. Decent MA. IPT, solid MA, a little retrace. Let's see if there's anything else that looks decent here. DraftKings, nice retest of CIST. SCR on. Oracle, good continuation. And the target, facing a little bit of a struggle up here. When low looks decent for continuation. Let's see if low wants to continue to the upside. Let's see, here's that EPST. CCLS, not a bad one here as well with that FEG retest within the OTE of the range. Above the 200 EMA. I think this one would be solid. ABT doesn't look bad on disc. On a desk affirm, AMD, what else? I'm just cooking through these real fast. ANF fucking just cranking to the upside arm. Another leg to the downside BA. Got a beautiful retrace. CCAT, ACLS. Coin. Let's see if that animal continues to the downside. Come on, girl. I think we posted coin not too long ago. I think, or was it inside of here? Safari Animal hasn't completed yet, but we're waiting for it. CRM, Scarvana, Dow, let's see. DDOGC, nice continuation. DE had a decent day to the upside. Just needs to continue cooking here. Dell, Doku. Well, back tap of that CIST. Generac getting that retrace. The hood, another area, another leg to the downside on hood. Hum cranking it right out of those OTEs as we were mentioning. OTE on Hum is fucking beautiful. Let's see here. There's nothing really that interesting going into the month. I mean, like I said, continue watching that Lockheed trade, see how that does. Continuing to watch. Ooh, Meta, what the fuck was that wick? God dang. Triple M. MSFT looks like it wants to continue to the downside. Oh, nice. Let's see. Pins play, nice. Retest of that P-Town PYPL. Yeah, that will probably do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. As always, make sure to check out www.paperchairs.io. It's the best way to see what's going on inside the Discord. Get a little bit of a better understanding of where we stand and what we're all about. Like I said previously, I'm going to keep on saying it. The best way to support is just by liking these streams, tuning into them, sharing them, making sure that you're spreading the word. You know, we want to make sure to get as many peeps in these houses as well. If you guys at any point have any questions, comments, concerns, ask away. No, don't shy away from it. We're here to answer them all. On that, what's Rivian doing? Oh, Rivian's been aggressive here. It's crazy. Yeah, other than that, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. 2,000 followers for me. I'll quit my job. Make that happen. I believe it. 3,000 followers for Miss Raised. We'll give a lifetime membership for the paper traders. On that, we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.